I've had a great tour. This has been a dream come true. And the shows have been so enthusiastic and the kids are so excited. And I'm just like, I feel very warm.
And when you were performing, was there any song in particular that you were like, I did not expect people to go crazy for that one?
I feel like there's songs that I always want people to go crazy for. And when they do, I'm like, yeah. So like last night, I felt like the last song, the Encore Ohio, like people were thrashing and like having a blast.
When did you kind of know that you wanted to get into it and what genre you wanted to do?
Well, I grew up in a recording studio, so it was a little bit like, you know, I didn't have that many skills. So I was like, this makes sense.
Where do you draw a lot of your inspiration from?
I draw inspiration from queer history. I feel like I draw a lot of inspiration from drag and the ballroom scene. I think that this is a time to like kind of address the pain and sadness and trauma, but also not get lost in it and be hopeful. And, you know, be proud of the communities you're a part of and raise them up. I used music as therapy. It was therapeutic. It was cathartic because I would get really sad and then needed to like express it and then use music to do that. Like, you know, as everyone has their thing that they use to like express their sadness. Like that was my outlet. But I think, and I always knew I was gay. So it was kind of like, it was the putting two and two together, which I think is so important because artists very rarely have the opportunity to come to that conclusion themselves. You know, I really had the time and the space to figure out how I wanted to represent myself. And I'm really fortunate to have come to the conclusion that there is a part of me that I want to be for the communities I represent in the world. Like I would really like to be a role model and like represent, you know, queer people. But I also, at the same time, I'm doing it for me.
In 1950, that was huge here. Did you expect it to be as big as it was?
You know, it's like, you know, when you're in the studio, like with your homies or by yourself, whatever, and you're listening to it and you're like, guys, this is
pretty good.
This is a good one. You know what I mean? Because there's also bad ones and you're like, this one don't work. But then, you know, 1950 was like, we're like, that's a good one. Big chorus.